When did you meet up with Billy? I mean, how did that whole thing happen?
Oh, God, Billy. I was playing on Long Island, and I had seen him play with the Hassles. He was in the band The Hassles.
Yeah,
and
John Small.
Yeah, John was playing drums then.
Yeah.
And my group, I was in a group called New Rock Workshop at the time. And we used to play together sometimes at the My House in Plainview.
Right. Yeah.
And I used to watch him, and he used to watch me and stuff. We never said anything to each other except hi and bye, you know.
Really? Yeah.
But then he went to California and became Billy Joel out there, and had Piano Man and Street Life Serenader album out. And I had a group called Topper. We were playing around Long Island. The bass player from Topper got with Billy, and that's when Billy decided he wanted to move back to New York. And out in L.A., he was using studio guys for the record and using a different band to play live. He wanted the same band to play live and play on the records with him.
Yeah.
And he wanted a New York-style drummer.
So when he came back to New York, he looked you up?
Yeah, he looked me up.
Now, you know, I just to add to this story, must have been around the time I met Billy one night. We were on the line for a movie, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, right?
Yeah.
And he was in front of me on the line. And we got to talking, and he told me, I'm looking for a drummer. I can't, you know, there's a couple of guys that I'm looking for. Do you know anybody? You know, he asked me for, you know, it must have been, you know, considering
well, it was
you
probably
at
that time, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he just called you and you know.
Yeah, well, I knew Doug, the bass player, who's at the time, Billy brought back to New York with him. And Doug set up the audition and everything, and I sat down and played, you know, aggressively, and just like you.
Sight.
Yeah. And
I mean, that fit. You guys were like hand in glove. I mean, that was a marriage made in heaven.
It was fun.
Absolutely.
I used to do your songs at sound check all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's put on Good Lovin' and play, you know, Come On Up.
Well, you guys had, I mean, how many years have you been with
I was with Billy for 30 years.
30. That's a long time. That's a whole career, man.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
All right, back to your old set. What always fascinated me, the snare drum to hold up the tom-tom.
Yeah, you know, that was just, that again, you know, necessity is the mother of invention. One night, my tom-tom holder broke,
Yeah.
and I had an extra snare stand. Just put it on the tom, and I liked it, and it moved around really good the way the snare stand maneuvers,
Right.
so I could position it anywhere. So I just started using it like that, you know. But I wasn't any thought to it at all. It was just I had to do it because I broke the, you know, the arm on the bass drum.
If you had done that today, and I think they should do it anyway, they would have the Dino Danelli tom-tom stand.
Yeah.
And I'll
yeah.
tell you why. It's beautiful, because usually when they make tom stands, it can only go a certain length.
Oh yeah, you're
And,
always looking, man.
You know, even though you can slide the thing back and forth on the bass drum,
You think
can't,
after 45 years or so they would have that together?
you can move that snare stand with the tom on it.
Yes.
Wherever.
Yeah, no, a lot of people love that, you know. I mean,
Yeah.
They really. I hated the way it looked, though. You know, so I didn't keep using it because it just didn't look right to me.
Oh,
The
to
snare
me it
stand,
looked like
you know, I mean-
it was the ultimate.
Yeah.
It was the ultimate.
Yeah.
To see a drum hang like that,
Yeah.
that stand, it was
Yeah,
like,
you liked it.
I have a set of
Yes.
drum set up at home at my apartment that I practice on.
Really?
This,
Yeah.
this tom-tom is on a
Perception's
snare
straight.
stand.
Yeah. No, I mean, a lot of people, and it does. It just maneuvers so much better, you know. I mean,
What kind of cymbals? What the cymbals you were using?
well, in the early days, it was always Zildjians, you know. I mean, I didn't really know of any other cymbals but Zildjians.
Right,
actually,
but
you know.
the sizes, they
Well, I like big size. I started out using 220s, you know, and then I got away from that. I started using 18, but always a 20-inch ride. And then eventually, you know, as things got bigger, I started using, you know, I used a singular tom for the longest time.
Right.
But then when I went to multi-toms and everything, when things spread out, I guess in the late 60s, I guess when, I don't know, maybe when Bonham came over,
right?
you know, around the end of the 60s when those multiple tom sets really, what's his name, guy who played on, forgive me for not forgetting his name, played on Be My Baby and everything.
Oh, yeah, Hal Blaine.
Hal Blaine.
Yeah.
Massive drummer, right? I mean,
Oh, yeah.
we know
Yeah.
his career. But he was the first guy to use those multiple toms, I believe.
Oh, well, George Harrison brought the toms over for Ringo to use because he heard Hal do it.
Yeah, much later. Yeah, no, I don't remember anybody before Hal Blaine, but he had all those multi-toms going. So anyway, I started using that. I started using smaller cymbals. Eventually got down to, you know, 15, 16, 18. 18 and 18-inch China cymbal. Yeah, I started using a lot of cymbals, but that wasn't until later on.
But your ride cymbal, it kind of had a whoosh to it. It was like turning on water faucets when you hit it. It went.
Yeah. Liv, I'm not even aware of that. It was just I was into good sounding zildjian.
You know what else you didn't do? You know what else you didn't do that Ringo did? You never rode on the hi-hat open.
No, I wasn't an open rider. No. I never. I always kept it. I always kept it tight.
Am I scaring you now? 'Cause I know.
But yeah, no. I mean, I never. Yeah. I should have explored that.
That ride cymbal did what Ringo did on that open hi-hat. It made that.
Well, I never liked them too heavy. So the lighter they were, the more wash you would get.
Yeah, they would wobble more.
Yeah, I like them thinner. So that's probably how that happened.
All right. One more. Oh, another question about the cymbals that I've been dying. Did you cut the felts to the bass drum pedal and put them on the?
No. A lot of people have asked me that, but you know what those were? Those were mallets. They were symphony mallets.
Yeah.
The kind you get, and I just took them off the mallet, and just the hole was the same, so I just put them on top of the cymbal because Sonny Payne had that. Sonny Payne had white. It was the color I went for. Because they were all black. They were all dark. But Sonny had these white ones, and I just thought they were so cool.
Yeah.
I had to find them, and I couldn't find them, so I had to make them. But the mallets worked perfectly. So
that's another thing they should be making today. The Dino Danelli felts.
Yeah.
Because
I never explored anything.
It's so practical today. When you drop a felt on the floor, what do you drop it on? A dark carpet, right?
Yeah, forget it.
You can't find it.
No, you forget it.
Make it white.
Yeah.
You go to the NAMM show, they got all this, this is a new drum, this is a new way to tune a drum. Make me a white felt.
No, it's
so I can find the friggin' thing.
It's really logic, but that was a...
It's pretty insane.
I was big on looks, I was very big on what everything had to look like, More so than I probably needed to be, but again, those white things had to be, they had to be right.